That's it, Brian?
Yes.
Sup guys, it's Outlaw FPV with a review of the RCInPower GTS series motors, which are also called Race Masters. So the story of how I got these motors is kind of a little bit weird, because I won a giveaway 1.5 years ago and I got nothing. And it turned out that the previous handler scammed the company, scammed the boss, and he was in charge of the giveaway, so he just left the company and there was nothing of the giveaway. They couldn't keep track of it. And I messaged them back then, and for some reason I got a reply in October. And the guy was asking me, like, he's very sorry about the giveaway and how it turned out, and he told me about the previous handler, and he asked me if I would like to receive the motors still, and I'm like, of course I would. I mean, free motors can't be bad, right? So he asked me to choose a set of motors from their new lineup, and I want to get into racing, so I chose these, which is a 2306 motors and 2400 kV, and these are perfect for racing or freestyle or anything. These are all around high torque motors, so I chose these. But when he came back to confirm my shipping address, and he actually told me that he will be sending me 2 sets of motors. So I was like, okay, 2 sets, very nice. So to my surprise, I got another set, which is a 2305 and 2750 kV. So these are very high RPM motors. Probably M-Draw is just as high, but these just scream. I'm going to be trying these as well on my race build, so I'm gonna be, building 2 race builds just to try these. So thank you, RCInPower again. So back to the review. These actually, just for a second, these are exactly the same as the 2306 motors, just smaller in stator size, but visually they are the same and they come with the same accessories. So these are the same lineup, different size stators. So let's get into this. You get a low profile lock nut with these motors, which I'm happy about, because with the Racecraft 5051 or Doll Cyclones, the hub is actually very thick, so you have to get a low profile nut anyway. The normal ones are not good enough because they don't grab, the lock part doesn't grab onto the threads, and you have props flying off all over the place. 4 screws. These look like titanium screws, to be honest with you. Titanium color, but I have no idea if they are titanium because they have no markings on there. For 4mm arms. For thicker arms you have to get your own screws. So that's it. And of course the motor. I'm not gonna be talking about this because you only get 1 wire. I mean, these are PCB solder motors, so 1 wire, sure enough if you run your ESCs on the arms, which I do in this build. As you can see, it's enough. But if you're on a 4-in-1, you have to get your own wire, because these nearly won't be long enough. Maybe for 1, but you have to get 2 more. So yeah, there's that. So here's the motor. Machining quality, perfect, very nice. Black anodized, the whole motor. And there's something interesting here. If you look at this, first they machine out the motor, then they anodize it, as you can see, and then there's another step of machining, because you can see these are ground down to silver, which is the original color of the aluminium. So very nice attention to detail here. I like these. So you get this very nice thick base, at least 3 or 4mm of thread for your motor screws, so you won't be stripping these out anytime soon. Also, this is 70-75 aluminium aircraft grade, and the PCBs actually extend over the motor mount holes, so even if you screw it in and use longer screws, you won't be damaging the windings because these will catch it. But do pay attention, because if you're too hard you can easily break this PCB. I think it's not very thick, but it doesn't need to, it doesn't carry a lot of current, so perfect. NMB Japanese bearing, L940ZZ double shielded bearing, 4x9x4. So these are the biggest bearings mini quad motors use these days. Very, very durable and smooth. I tried all 8 motors and they are ultra smooth. No slap in there. Perfect. I'm sorry I'm back. I actually experienced some technical difficulties, but I got myself a prop to test on the shaft and calipers so I can measure the thread the motor screws actually have, because I really wanted to see that. So let's start with that. Yep, these are 3 millimeters, which is perfect. A lot of thread for the screws to grab. So let's check this out. The shaft is actually some kind of steel alloy. I have no idea what kind of, but it seems to have this golden coating on there, which doesn't come off with the file. If I test it with the file, doesn't come off. It seems to be quite hard. So I think this is what hardens the shaft. I have no idea what kind of material this is, but 5 millimeters here and 4 millimeters down there, so you probably won't be bending this. So nice. The motors actually have some cooling fins here, as you can see. Those extend inside the motor and they're supposed to draw the air out, but actually these motors come in 2 directions. As you can see, this is counterclockwise, so that means that comes with a normal thread. I actually only got counterclockwise ones with normal threads, which I didn't ask for, but I'm really happy about, because I fucking hate reverse thread nuts. These are just so hard to find. I mean, if I want some, I have to... Oh shit, I dropped it. 1 second. So yeah, if you lose them like I just did with this, and if this was a reverse nut, I'd have to order this online, because you can't find it anywhere here. I mean, locally you probably won't be able to buy anything like this. So yeah, this is a very nice addition. But the cooling fins are actually not directional, so you don't have to worry about it like with all LD power motors, because with those cooling is actually directional, so you can just be running, you know, 1 thread motors, normal thread, but you have to run in the counterclockwise thread motors too, because you won't be getting proper cooling. But with this, that problem is non-existent, so I'm glad about that. So what I have here is an original HQ 5x4x3 propeller, and this is the gold standard, so this is what I'm gonna be trying on. This is just tight on actually a lot of the motor threads, but I hope it will be tight on this too. Let's check this out. It's perfect. As you can see, I can spin the motor by spinning the propeller, so a nice tight shaft. I'm glad about that. And it's actually easy to take off, so yep. Just gonna be throwing this away. So let's return to the motor. So overall, this is a very nice motor. Again, nice windings, nice thick single strand copper, nice tight air gap, nice curved magnets, nice thick flux ring. Everything is nice about this motor. Impeccable machining, 3 millimeters of thread. Actually, this is a C-clip motor, but not really bothered by it because it's very easy to take off, and I actually tried taking it off. It's super easy to take off, so there's no problem there. And actually, as you can see, no spacer under the C-clip, so between the C-clip and the bearing, no spacer, and still no slap in the motor, and it spins freely, but there's no slap. So the machining is very high quality here. The tolerances are just right, just perfect. So yeah, I mean, I could show you some motors, but I don't know where they are, which actually have the normal C-clip mounting too, but those have different thickness spacers, so they take out the slap, but this doesn't. So nice machining here as well. So thank you RCInPower for sending these in, and these will be going on my race build. So see you again.